So there has been a raft of top tip videos.
Things people like, they hate, you know, what you should know before you go on a Virgin voyage. I'm trying to give you a different perspective.
From somebody who never goes out on parties, from a farm in the middle of Dorset. So these are my 7 top tips and the 2 things that I hated.
And welcome back to a very cold day in January in Dorset. Okay, so tip number 1. My first tip is a pretty simple one. I've mentioned it before. I'm going to put a link up to the video here, but it's about free champagne on the sail away party. Listen, they expect you to take multiple glasses, and most sailors only really get into the swing of it at the end of the party, and then the champagne will disappear. So listen, there are lots of places to get the champagne, lots of bars, but the ones that we found were the emptiest, if you know your waiters aren't passing around you, are the ones on deck 16 in the middle overlooking the pool. They have these 2 pop-up bars and they're pretty empty, and they have racks and racks and racks of champagne on these little kind of pop-up areas. So that's my first tip. Get multiple glasses of champagne when the sail away party starts, and if you want to learn more about the sail away party, hit this video here. Top tip number 2. So top tip number 2 is stairs. And this is an interesting one. It's not going to be for everyone, but for those of you who want to do it, I think it's an awesome challenge. The first benefit of this is that often the lifts are really busy, and doing the stairs means that you can often avoid those crowds, avoid waiting for the lift. And the second benefit to this is most days we were doing well over 17,000 steps, quite often 19 or 20,000 steps. And I quite like setting myself a challenge. So I'd set myself this challenge, and then I had to do it. We only used the lift twice, and both of those were when we kind of crawled out of the manor at 2 in the morning. Okay, so a little bonus, ow. I just had my cat climb up me. Okay, bonus tip about the stairs, and actually I'm taking the picture here from when I was hiding ducks around the ship, is that purple is 4. So when you see the lines in the carpet, purple is 4, red is mid, and blue is aft, or the rear of the ship. And so those are the little stripes, and it's a little bonus tip for you if you're getting lost around the boat and you don't know what stairs you're on. If it's blue, you're at the back, if it's red, you're in the middle, and if it's purple, you're at the front. Okay, I hope this all makes sense because I'm kind of rushing through it. It's absolutely freezing. My hands are really cold. If you like any of these videos, if you're one of the 5 people that have watched this, please subscribe and like, comment below, because it helps actually get the algorithm out there. I'm not doing this to monetize. I'm not doing this to sell cruises. I'm just doing it for basically the love of trying to create something at the weekend on the farm. So if you like it and you want to see more, please subscribe, like, comment, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what I'm doing wrong. And that would really help me out. Tip number 3. Okay, so my third tip, and this is one I haven't seen anywhere else. I might have just missed the videos. If you have done this, I'm sorry, comment below. But a really good one is ice lollies. My third tip is ice lollies. In the galley on deck 15, there's a little cart that has champagne and ice lollies. Now, when we spoke to a lot of other sailors, they thought that you had to buy the champagne to get the lollies. But it turns out that you don't have to buy the champagne. Obviously, they kind of position it like that because the idea is you take the lolly and you get the champagne and you dip the lolly into the champagne. I think for those in America, I think it's called a popsicle, or basically, you know, an iced fruit kind of thing. But the thing for us is they were amazing, and they're free, like all the food, they're completely free. But they change every day. And one of the things is we only found out about this on, I think, the third to last day. And we were like, oh my God, we wish we tried all the different flavors, but they change each day, just like the ice cream. If you didn't know that, little bonus tip for you, ice cream changes every day. So if there's particular flavors that you want to get into, you know, try them that day. But the ice lollies, I would say probably the best either of us have ever had in our lives. They're literally the tastiest ice lollies ever. And so on a hot day in the Caribbean, those ice lollies are amazing, and you don't have to buy the champagne. You obviously can, but you don't have to. So that's my tip number 3, ice lollies. Tip number 4. So for tip number 4, it's about the Greek hours they have at the dock. Now you can comment in the sections below, but I think it's from 3 until 6, but I could be wrong. So let me know in the comments below if I'm actually wrong. It might be 3 till 5. But on the dock at the back of the boat, and like a lot of other people have said, that's a really cool place to grab a sunbed, especially on sea days. In the afternoon, they have this specialty menu that comes out, and it is amazing. Little bits of tapas, little bits of, it's just awesome. Now, I'm sure they probably change this up and they do different areas around the world that inspire it. But for us, this was one of the hidden gems, and there was nothing I liked more than getting a cold beer, getting the lamb, or getting the squid. It was really good. So they have this little menu that comes out 3 till 5, 3 till 6. Let me know in the comments below if you know the times, but that is really cool. So that's my tip number 4, is the Greek hours at the dock. Tip number 5 is the grounds club. If, like me, you are a complete coffee addict, and I want to get into, get my coffee and get out as fast as possible, then you're going to want to know when there isn't a queue. But I have another little bit around this as well about coffee. If you wake up, maybe you'd like to go for a run early in the morning, or like me, you're waking up from jet lag. I was kind of stumbling around the deck like a zombie, looking for places to film and different things to do. And I bumped into these 2 guys who had coffee mugs. I was like, where did you get that from? The grounds club isn't open yet. And they said, listen, there's actually filter coffee available from 5:30 in the morning in the galley. So there's 2 little sections in the galley where you can go and help yourself. They've got these really nice little mugs. They've got plastic mugs to take out if you're going to take it out on deck. But they've got a nice little mug, and I quite often grabbed one of those when I was still kind of waking up with jet lag, get a bit of work done in the galley, maybe go for a walk. So there's some filter coffee. But again, if you're like me and filter coffee is a little bit like flavored water and you need a bit more caffeine, then you're going to want to head to the grounds coffee, and you're going to want to head to the grounds coffee for the specialty coffee. Now, there are 2 grounds clubs on the boat. The first one is on deck 7. That's the kind of main one. That's where it's all set out and it's kind of laid out and there's seating and stuff. And the one on deck 15 is actually in the galley. Now, I thought that the one in the galley was going to be heaving because it's where the galley is. But it actually turns out it's the other way around. There's a lot of people going to the one on deck 7. Now, I'm assuming this is because they're on their route through. There's a lot more cabins down there. I'm not quite sure. But my tip is, if you want to avoid the queue, and like me, you are sent out to get early morning specialty coffees like a flat white or a cortado or something, then the place to go is the grounds club on deck 15 if you want to avoid the queues. Okay, an added section now for the grounds club is that on the Scarlet Lady, which I haven't been on, they have changed it up a bit. Now, I did see this on the Doddles. I'm going to link to this specific video in the description below. But they've changed one of the grounds clubs. I'm not sure which one it is. Let me know in the comments if you know. But they've changed one of the grounds clubs into a slightly different format. And so in the day, it's a coffee place, and in the evening, it's a bar. Now, I thought this was a really cool idea, different ways to utilize space. If you have been on that and it's awesome, let me know. If you're the Doddles, if it's Mark and David and you're watching this and I got it completely wrong, let me know as well. Tip number 6, now this might be my biggest tip of the whole thing because this is one that really got me, is about booking and the openings of exercise classes. Now, we were told over and over and over again when we watched all these different tips, and we were told by people who've been on Voyages, you can only book this when you get on board. So, we tried to get on board as fast as possible. We were lucky enough to be rock stars, so we got onto the boat pretty quickly. We were the first group in. So I got on the app and I started booking up exercise classes. The one I really wanted to book was the spin classes. Now, when we first got on the boat, there was only one day, the next day, that had a spin class. And I thought to myself, whoa, hang on a second, there's only one spin class for the whole week? Turns out that actually when we turned up at the spin class, that they actually release the days on the cruise. Now I'm kind of stuttering over myself there, but they release each day slowly over the whole of embarkation day. And that's because obviously people are boarding all the way through till 4:30 in the afternoon. So my advice is, yeah, book the next day as soon as you get on the boat, but remember to check back. If spin classes are something you really want to be doing, or whether it's the bungee class or whatever it is, the other days will open up during the actual embarkation day. And that was something that was completely lost on us and I think would really help us out on the next cruise. Okay, this is my last tip, tip number 7. And I think this might be one that, is a bit divisive. It might split you guys as sailors a little bit. But my advice is to make friends with black bands. And what I mean by that is the black bands you wear when you get on the boat. So you get either a black band or a red band. The black band's for rock stars and mega rock stars, and it allows you to get into Richard's Rooftop and you get some certain perks. Some of the perks around that are really cool. And one of the perks is that you get this mini bar. We thought, amazing, we get this minibar, you know, we're not gonna go out and drink that much. We ended up not being able to drink that much anyway because, you know, our kidneys have suffered from us drinking all the way through our 20s and that kind of thing. So, you know, hangovers were pretty big. We actually only touched one bottle in the minibar, and they give you full-size bottles. And the reason I'm saying make friends with the black bands, because every time we sat down for dinner and we chatted to a nice couple or somebody next to us, we decided, well, let's just give a bottle away. So we'd say to them, hey, what's your cabin number? Not because we're kind of stalking you, but we're going to send you a present. And then what we'd do is we'd just say to our Rockstar agent, hey, these guys really like wine or they like vodka, can you take one of the bottles from our minibar and deliver it to them? And they're not like mini bottles, they're full-size bottles. And so we delivered all of our minibar all around the boat. And like the Doddles say, and I know I keep bringing them up, but they gave us this tip, is that basically pay forwards, pay a bit of love forwards. And so our hope is that next time, you know, the Rockstar thing for us was a real treat. Next time we go on a sea terrace and we're inside a cabin, somebody else will pay the full, you know, pay the favor back to us. So that is my tip, is make friends with black bands if you can. They might be complete beeping word, so maybe don't make friends with them, but if you get on with them and you're sitting at a table next to them and, you know, maybe they'll send you a bottle. Anyway, that is my final tip. Okay, so what are the two things that I absolutely hated? Hated's a very strong word, actually. I would say things that Virgin could improve on was probably a better way of putting it. So the first thing that we think they can improve on is the Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi packages. It's a bit of a joke. So I don't understand why they can't split the premium and the general Wi-Fi between different devices. But essentially, you have to log on, you put your date of birth in. As soon as you're in range of the boat, you kind of log in, you put your cabin number in, your date of birth, and then you log on to the Wi-Fi. And that's the only way you can use the app. Now, once you've done that with your iPhone, that is your primary device, that's logged on. If you want another device, you have to pay. So we needed to do a bit of work when we were on the boat. So we decided, well, we'll get the premium Wi-Fi. So we bought the premium Wi-Fi thinking that could be put onto a different device. No, you can't have the kind of free Wi-Fi on one device and the premium on another. Your primary device then becomes the premium Wi-Fi device. You've just paid $130 for your premium Wi-Fi on your first device. And then you have to pay another $90 to set up another device on premium to get another one connected. So I didn't think that was very cool. I think Virgin, you're definitely not watching this because you're not one of the 5 people watching my videos. But if you are watching this, I think you need to change that. I think you need to be able to make, you know, if you want your laptop to be on the premium and you want your mobile phone, your cell phone to be on the free Wi-Fi, that should be an option. So that was the first one. The second thing that we didn't like and think they can improve on was actually the spin classes. We turned up and we did 2. We turned up the first one, it was pretty bad. I'm not expecting them to be Peloton, I'm definitely not expecting them to be SoulCycle, but the AV equipment didn't work, the bikes were, quite a lot of them were not working brilliantly, and the instructor did not know what he was doing. So we gave him the benefit of the doubt. We thought, well, maybe the instructor was just standing in for somebody else and they didn't know what they were doing. But honestly, they didn't have a clue. There was even people next to us saying, you know, is this even safe? It wasn't a spin class. It just wasn't very good. So that happened on the second time, and then we just didn't bother turning up for the rest, and we just cancelled our classes after that. We just didn't think it was very good. So that is something I really think Virgin can improve on. And also, they were really short. The spin class was like 20 minutes long. And again, I'm not, you know, I know it's got to be for all types of ability, but 20 minutes, guys, is seriously short when it's booked out in your calendar for an hour. So, you know, another thing you can improve on. But anyway, those are it. Those are my 7 tips that I think, you know, hopefully you guys can find some value in. And those are also the 2 things that I think Virgin can improve on. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, and you know, you want me to make more videos, like I said earlier, please subscribe and like, leave a comment, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'll make some more. Thanks so much.